Okay, as we were saying, sorry about that, but I mean, it's my first time trying to read cards online. I mean, like this, live camera. So, anyhow, I do read them online, but usually I'm by myself with the other client. So, I'm trying to do this public, so we get people to get to know exactly what we do here. Okay, so here we go again. Let me show you again. Okay, so this is the medieval cards, like I was saying. Um, that's how they look. Now we're gonna cut again, like I was saying. You have to pretend that you are actually the one that is doing it, not me. So think about the cards, look at them, and see. Hopefully you can see them okay because I can't really see them very well because the brightness of the screen. And since I had to, let me put this back. Okay, hold on. So once you see, okay, medieval, okay, look. So focus on that, on those symbols, okay, and think about your questions. Then what you do is, since we already got the cards, I'm gonna do it for, let's say, Leo. Okay, Leo, it's just a sample. This is not someone that is for real. We're just doing it by sign. Let's see what Leo will have an answer out of this. And so that way you can understand what I'm talking about. Okay. Seems like you're in the start of a new beginning of a new business, some of you. Some of you are starting school or they're going to start a new career. There's things that are coming down, but there's delays when it comes to money issues, just like we all do, as I figure. But at the same time, I would cross somebody helping you. So for Leos, there's always going to be someone helping. Somehow they have these people around them, okay, which is people that are very important and that help them protect them when it comes to times where they need help. So Leos are very, very stubborn. They like to be on their own. So they don't like help too much. They're too proud for that. So what I would recommend is let me show you. Um, you, um, um, you have to learn how to accept help. Otherwise, this is not gonna affect. I mean, it's gonna affect you. This person, this man that wants to help over here, is important. The hermit, the person that is giving you wise advice, you have to take that advice. Uh, the empress, I mean, she's trying to help you. Why not allow her to? Um, temperance. You gotta understand, Leos need to get out of that round of like feeling so guilty every time they accept help. Anyway, so after sacrifices and the moon, everything should be okay with that. Okay, so this was just an example for Leo for right now. For some of you Leos that are up there. So what I would recommend is just follow your heart. I mean, don't be stubborn, don't be proud. Um, just swallow your pride every once in a while. Don't um, don't overdo it. Do sacrifices for the sake of something better, especially your family. Um, be strong. Don't be weak, but don't overdo it. Also, remember you belong with the lions. Okay, so don't fight it, and then you will get that money, and you'll be fine. So that's your answer, Leo. And that's one tarot deck. Okay, and that's one spread. That's my spread. Now, the No King Keys deck, that's a different deck. It's very hard for people to understand. It's a very, very difficult deck. If you notice, it's double-sided. So you have an answer on one side and an answer on the other one. This deck has 78 cards, just like usually all the regular decks do. But if you plus everything by 2 because it's two-sided, then that means that it's more than 78 cards, okay? So the Enochian deck is one of those decks that are very hard to understand for some people. Okay, this is the Hornet deck. So, and then you have the hierarchy, and then you have, but everything comes with a symbol on the back, if you notice that, and that's all related. So, when it comes to a reading like this, it's very hard for people to understand unless they know what the Enochian keys mean. Like this is jealousy right here for right now for this person, which is an Aquarius. Um, Now, the commander, the leader, she wants to become the commander. She's jealous of our relationship. I don't know what kind of relationship, but if you notice, she wants justice. So, or he wants justice. So, what we're reading right here is the Noken keys. Okay, that's one other sample. It's a very, very beautiful deck. It requires a lot of your concentration and it requires a lot of understanding of what Enochian keys means. So if you want a reading with this from me, you're gonna have to do a little research of what Enochian keys tarot deck means. Okay, anyway. Now the butterfly, that's more romantic. And it's only I they try to use major arcana only, spiritual cards. So when it comes to spiritual cards, um, you only use major arcana. Okay, so it's not really like you use like swords and wands and and things like that. You have to use different um, things. So so it's all spiritual. I mean, I recommend this one a lot too for people that are very sensitive. Now we got this one doesn't mean that it has to do with sex, because obviously the only picture that you have sexual is the one on the front. Other than that, everything looks pretty normal to me. So it's very safe and it tells you all the truth and answers and everything. The other side is just the name of the cards, but it has nothing to do with that. So, well, if unless you want to know about that type of questions, then you can use it like that, I guess. Um, I'm only showing right now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 decks because I have too many. So I just wanted to give you a sample of what people usually ask for, except for the Enochian keys as a special one. This is the Aquarius deck, which is a pretty similar. It doesn't mean that it's about Aquarius only. It means that it's owned by the Aquarius, uh, not owned, but it's Aquarius history. Now, one of the most common decks that we have is this one right here, which is very, very, I mean, a lot of people uses this deck. It's one of those decks that everybody uses like at the fairs, like at clubs, like at, one-to-one, whatever, card reading is very common, but it's very strategic and it's very good. So if you notice, that's the Knight of Swords. Okay, someone is coming to get Sagittarius. Okay, I see money coming in, charismatic, events as usual. That's Sagittarius, and the event is a wedding with a judge. Okay, so Sagittarius, somebody's gonna marry, or you're getting married, or something like that, and everything is gonna come out okay. So anyway, now we got this one, which is a very nice deck. It's one of my oldest decks. Okay, and it's I forgot the name right now, but it's a very beautiful deck. One of my oldest one because I have so many that I get lost of it. This is the Renaissance deck. The Renaissance deck is beautiful deck. Also, a lot of detail, very different. I remember this given to me a long time ago by another colleague. It's a very good. I highly recommend this one, Renaissance. Um, what else? Then I have, of course, the Spanish cards. Okay, everybody does. So anyway, that's a little sample of what I do. So I know that this is my first time doing this, so that's why I'm having a little trouble, kind of like handling the whole thing. But it was just a small introduction, so that way you could understand more or less what I do when I read cards. So most of the times, when I read them, I have a candle ready, everything ready. But since this is just the introduction, to see if I get some subscribers, so that way they can watch or they can ask questions or whatever, and they could ask like, okay, if you want a one-to-one reading or things like that. I mean, we'll see what happens about that. So far, what I would recommend is if you're a plain and simple person, you pick the simple thing. Now, if you're fancy or whatever, then you pick the fancy one. Now, if you just want to have fun, I mean, because remember, this is something that we do and is supposed to be good. Everything is about for the positive, not for the negative. So what I'm trying to do is when you um, are reading cards and a card shows up and it's negative, what you do is you turn it upright so that way the bad thing doesn't happen. You're on time to not let it happen. The past, I don't like reading past too much because past is past and you have to let go of the past. Otherwise, forget it. You're not going to have a life. So, um, what else? Okay. So that's about tarot deck cards. And I just want to give that introduction so that way, you'll know what I'm going to be doing. I don't know the timings because I don't know. Most of the times in the morning, that's when I'm going to be doing it. And any questions, you can find me on Facebook under Jacqueline Chalons. Um, or you can find me on Instagram under Jacqueline Chalons also. So